Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Spiritual Readiness in the time of the shift. It has been a couple of weeks since we last spoke. I've been trying to internally process some challenges that are happening for me, and I wanted to share some of it with you because a lot of what I'm facing, you also may be echoing in your life right now. Now, when you're tasked with a purpose and you have a Dhamma that you know, particularly in my case, trying to lead humanity into an ascended tomorrow, it's a huge goal. And since in my ray reading, my monad is in the third ray of active intelligence, I have the capacity to see the bigger picture and also the ability to see all the subset steps that need to be taken to move into that space. Now, having said this, it does not mean, however, that my to-do list on a daily basis are accomplished, because the tapestry is complex. There are other people involved, there are other individuals involved, and they too have to grow. I have to help train the 144,000, yet in the process of doing this, I try to, the best of my ability through my Facebook group called the Wisdom Council, which is a free group, to give the instructions. But to my understanding sometimes, and to my human comprehension, they are not moving fast enough. Let me rephrase this. The planetary shifts are occurring so fast and so quickly that I have a fear, this is me, Pierre, I have a fear that the 144,000 will not be ready in time. Okay? And this puts me into panic, or I begin to question my ability as a teacher to convey the idea and to entrain others into ascendance and elevation. So I begin to blame myself. And this is, I know this is a mind game and it's a negative ego program, but I'm being very honest and very candid with you. Moreover, in the process of doing all of this, because of all the various catastrophic changes that are taking place, a lot of other people of my acquaintances, friends, people that I love, are coming up being very ill. And since I'm a healer, they all are reaching out to me. Now, in the process of doing all of this, trying to respond to their problem, which I don't mind doing, I'm more than happy to try to share it. But the issue with a lot of them that are not habituated to do really personal growth work and go deep and go into the dantian, when you task them to do certain things, they're not doing it. They expect me to have fairy dust and go and blow it on them and make everything go away, which is something that, of course, I can't do because I'm not the healer. The healer resides in them. I just have to ignite the fire in them to do the inner work so that they will awaken their inner healer. And then miraculously things will begin to disappear. So when one of them dies or is no longer on earth, I begin to blame myself. Did I communicate correctly? Could I have done this differently? Now, the could I have done this differently is the way we learned. But when I begin to flagellate myself and saying I didn't do it good enough or well enough, I feel overburdened and I feel a pain in my heart, like if someone, particularly when these people are people I care for, like someone has stabbed me. I'm being completely honest. I'm putting everything on the table. And as this is happening to me, sometimes I've said this before in other videos, there are times not knowing is actually better for me. Because when I know, I have to respond. And when I have to respond, since my personality, who I am, either I'm in or I'm not in, when I respond, I go all the way. That's again, additional responsibilities that I need to carry. And as all of these are happening, and then there's fire here, all over the planet, in forest fires in Brazil, in Siberia, in Alaska, in Africa, there are all kinds of things that are going on. Hurricanes, earthquake, 5G deployment, all kinds of things that are happening that I have to find answers to for myself, but more importantly for my community. I begin to feel overwhelmed. Like I'm carrying a giant load. I'm Atlas, and I'm lifting all of the stuff on my shoulders. And I just want to say to you, if this is you, if in any way you relate to what I'm saying, listen very carefully to what I'm going to tell you. I happen to watch a lot of Kung Fu movies. This is what my little secret, something that distracts me in the evenings after I try to save the world, to kind of unwind me, seeing people flying in the air and doing all kinds of things that seem to calm me down and allow me to easily go into sleep before I do my evening meditation and go to sleep. And I was watching this movie called The Fall. And in the movie, there is an elder master that has all these incredible abilities and talking to a younger swordsman. They are playing Chinese checkers and drinking tea. And the younger swordsman said to the master, when I saw what you can do at the imperial court, I dare not show my face. You have so much power. And the elder master said, power? I don't have any power. And then he took the cup of tea and he emptied it. And he said, when you're empty, before he said that, he said, the difference between you and I is that my heart is emptier than yours. And he took the cup, he said, when you empty, energy and chi comes from the outside around you and fill you up, since the universe abhors a vacuum. The power is not mine, it is borrowed. Now, this kind of exploded my consciousness and my mind, because this is exactly the state of awareness that I need to be in. And I'm going to tell you why. When you see the future like I do, and by the way, it's only a year ago that I channeled this prediction 2019 and beyond, toward then I said it tomorrow, and that I'm going to link on the video for you to take a look at. Now, it's a year ago, and I know in suspension around me is additional information. But because of my state of consciousness, when I'm burdened and tasked with all of these things, I'm not empty. And there's a part of me that fear that I'm not in alignment with the shift, or going faster than what stage I should be in. You see what I'm saying? And because of this, I fear what I'm going to see. And no one can see a future that they fear. No one. So I need to figure out a way to let go and to empty myself. I need to release all the burden that I have. I need to release all the people that are in my care. I need to let go, unbuckle, take off my shoes. I need to untighten and release all of the things that are holding me back, that I feel on my to-do list. I need to release all of it. Let go. Surrender. Take a very deep breath and let God have all of it. Now, if you're not, or if you have not cultivated a relationship with God, then you have a big problem. At least this is not an issue that I have. I have a relationship, but because when you see the future, let's say you see the future 10 years from now, when you see that future, you don't know how particularly when you see multiple parallel futures, you don't know how you walk into the favorable future. You're going to have to feel your way through it. And as you're feeling your way through it, you're constantly wondering, did I do the right thing? Now, it's clear enough for me that I have land up in the Catskills, I've created a retreat center, I'm creating an ascended village, and I'm trying to get the funding and I'm spending my resources. I have a plan that I'm going to take my community and we're going to go up to the Catskills when things start going south. But to know when is something that I'm kind of, there's a part of me that feels burdens with. And every time you're sitting around, like I'm sitting in my apartment and I'm doing my to-do things and I'm tasking myself and the people around me with what needs to be done so that we can move closer and closer to that goal, I begin to realize that I am scanning, I am listening, and I feel like a gazelle in a very tall savanna, trying to sense if there's any predator around, and then getting ready to jump and run away. And that sensation, that perception is surviving. And as long as I'm in survival, which is the exact core and geometric center of the 3D reality, I cannot go into the new earth, which is about thriving, surrendering, and trust. I can't be in it. So there's a thin line that exists between, on the one hand, going into complete surrender and trust and letting go. And then there's a part that needs to be also vigilant and spiritually, emotionally, and psychologically agile to be able to move quickly. Because when you look at what's happening around the planet, it looks like we're walking on quicksand. So I have to maneuver myself into that space. But since survival is what the 3D reality has trained us to do, it is complicated for me to exist between these two, that border, which is between survival and yet at the same time create a bridge from the survival into the thriving and then the hopeful and the trusting reality. Okay? I hope I've made my point. It's a subtle point, but I think, and for me, the issue is that on a daily basis, I have to go in, I have to remember to go into source. Because you do it for a week or two, and then all of a sudden you begin to forget, and you get up in the morning and you just start doing your tasks. Although I do a spiritual practice, but the part that I keep forgetting is to take everything, all the sensation, all the burden, more people calling in with catastrophic illness, with this, that, or the other, accidents. And the more they're calling, the more I feel overwhelmed by the responsibility to respond and the responsibility to do something to try to help, because I am a giver by nature. And maybe the response is, this is not my responsibility. You figure it on your own. I got to walk away from this. In some cases, that may be the case, but I still have to respond. I have to analyze it. And if I keep trying to do it through my ego, and I'm going to do it, it's going to sink me. I'm going to remain in survival. I will not go. I will not create that bridge. And I have to realize this, that in the process of me doing my work correctly, I have to exist in that boundary between the survival and creating a bridge from survival into this new reality. I hope this has helped some of you, and I will talk to you by the end of the week. Thank you.